Hello students, myself Mazmina Begum. In our last class we were doing with the organs of UNO. So we have discussed about the UN General Assembly, UN Security Council and Economic and Social Council. So today we will discuss about Trusteeship Council, International Court of Justice and Secretariat. Okay, so first of all we will start with Trusteeship Council. So Trusteeship Council is one of the principal organ of UNO. The Trusteeship Council always tries to bring the member states within its trust. Okay, and those member states which are included within the trust of the Trusteeship Council, they try to see whether these member states are progressing in the social, political, economic, educational and cultural spheres or not. Okay, so now the Trusteeship Council includes three types of members within themselves. These are the countries falling within the jurisdiction of the trust, the countries, that is the permanent members of the Security Council which are not entrusted within the responsibility of the trust, and the members who are elected by the General Assembly for 3 years. Okay, so this is in short about the Trusteeship Council. So basically you have to remember what is its basic objectives. Its basic objective is to see whether the member states which are included within the Trusteeship Council, the member states are developing in the social, political, economic, cultural and educational field or not. Okay, so the next one is International Court of Justice. So International Court of Justice is the judicial organ of UNO. Okay, so here we can compare it with a nation. So within a nation, if there arise any kinds of disputes, then that disputes will be settled by the law and order system within the nation, isn't it? And justice will be provided by the judiciary. Similarly, if there arise any kinds of disputes between two nations, then such type of dispute will be solved by UNO, and for that purpose International Court of Justice is there. This is the judicial organ of UNO who will settle the disputes that will arise between two or more nations. Okay, moreover, the decision, the verdict which will be given by the Court of Justice, that is International Court of Justice, that verdict will have to be obviously followed by the member states. Okay, that means the states which are included within the disputes. Okay, otherwise they have to undergo through various punishment. So at present there are the number of judges of the International Court of Justice is 15. So this is about the International Court of Justice. The next one is Secretariat. So the Secretariat is another principal organ of UNO. The Secretariat is also regarded as the heart of UNO. So why? Because it is that organ of UNO which implements and executes all the policies of UNO. All the principles, all the policies and all the activities of UNO, whether these are being implemented and executed in a proper way or not, this is looked after by the Secretariat. So that is why this is known as the heart of UNO. It works on the departmental lines, and it also sees whether different branches are working in a cooperative way and in a smooth way or not. Okay, so this is the main activity of the Secretariat. So there is a Secretary General in order to run the Secretariat. Okay, so the Secretary General of UNO is regarded as the heart of the UNO. Okay, the Secretary General, he is the Chief Administrative Officer and also the head of the Secretariat. And he is being appointed by whom? He is appointed by the UN General Assembly, and he is also recommended, his name is recommended by the UN Security Council. Okay, so this is about the UN Secretariat. So at present, who is the Secretary General of UNO? We have already discussed that he is Antonio Guterres. Yes, and the first UN Secretary General was Trygve Lie. Okay, so now we have seen that there are 6 principal organs of UNO which performs very significant and important role in their own sphere. Yes, they have their own specialized functions. So now, apart from these 6 principal organs, there are various other agencies or organs of UNO. Okay, so what are these? These are the International Labour Organizations, Food and Agricultural Organizations, United Nations United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, United Nations Human Rights Commissions, yes, United Nations Developmental Programs. So all these are what the 6, apart from the 6 principal organs, these are the other important organs or agencies of UNO. Clear? So the next is United Nations and the world peace. So United Nations organizations and world peace, how these two topics are interrelated. Yes, UNO and world peace. So world peace, although the term is a very small one, but it has a vast meaning, it has a very broader meaning, right? So how peace can be maintained in a world? A world can be undergo through peace only when it follows certain important factors. So what are these factors? Obviously, there should not be any wars within countries or in the world. Yes, it should be free from wars. It should be free from any kinds of world wars. Yes. Moreover, there should be friendly relationship among the nations. There should be just and honorable relations among the nations. Yes, each member states should show respect towards other member states. Yes, the world should be free from the problems of terrorism, right? It should be free from the issues of boundary demarcations or boundary disputes, right? So all these things should be there. Otherwise, there will be no peace in the world, isn't it? Moreover, it should be also free from different kinds of pandemics, different kinds of diseases, right? So at present, we all know that the whole world is suffering from COVID-19, isn't it? Coronavirus disease. So this is also hampering the world peace. So not only war, not only terrorism, not only boundary demarcation issues, yes, not only the environmental issues causes a what? It goes against the world peace, but also these pandemics, yes, different kinds of natural calamities also cause the what? It goes against world peace. Yes. So that is why in order to maintain peace in the world, what is required? Certain initiatives should be taken, and obviously as the factor is related to the whole universe, whole world, that is why United Nations organization is there. Yes, basically we know that this is the period of nuclear age, isn't it? It is a nuclear age, and during this age, if there arise any kinds of conflicts between the two nations, then every country is ready to use what? Nuclear power. But we all know that this nuclear power is very, very dangerous for us. Yes, it will lead to the whole world to destructions and devastations, complete destruction and devastations, right? So UNO is adopting various initiatives to avoid these kinds of heinous activities from the world. Yes, these kinds of dangerous activities from the world, as a result of which they are adopting various non-armament and disarmament policies. Yes, so what is non-armament and what is disarmament? Non-armament means not to use any kinds of arms and weapons. Yes, basically the nuclear weapons. And the disarmament, it implies that complete dismantling of the nuclear weapons. Okay, so UNO is taking active steps in order to establish world peace, that is by following the non-armament and disarmament principles. Okay, so in 1952 UNO had established the disarmament commissions. So apart from it, it has also adopted various treaties like partial test ban treaties, yes, non-proliferation treaty, then comprehensive test ban treaty, seabed control treaty, then strategic arms limitation treaty, strategic arms limitation treaty 2, yes, strategic arms reduction treaty. So all these are certain treaties which are adopted by UNO. Yes, and different countries are showing respect towards it and is following these policies of armament, non-armament and disarmament. Okay, so ultimately it can be said that world peace is a very important aspect which should be given importance by not only one or two nations, but by the countries of the whole world, right? So at present also we can see that there may be the possibility of the third world war. No one just knows the reason of the third world war, right? So someone also predicts that China is using COVID-19 as a biological weapon, as a source of biological weapon. Yes, and this is the beginning of third world war. So this is just a predictions, yes, but it may not be, isn't it? So in such situations, the thing that can be done is complete maintenance of world peace, right? So this is possible only through mutual understanding among different nations, yes, and for that purpose UN Charter is there, right? And each and every member states must respect the UN Charter, must respect all the rules, regulations, norms, treaties of the UN Charter. Only then the world peace can be established in true sense. Thank you.